How's everybody doing? It is January 27th, 2021, and this is another video about these variants, okay? These mutant virus strains that they continue to call them. Coming from the UK, one coming from Africa, and Brazil as well, okay? So you're seeing this over and over again, and we talked about this the other night on the live stream, how we can see that they are going to use these different strains to be able to impose restrictions, curfews, lockdowns, etc. Okay, because the first, just normal CV, that just wasn't enough anymore, and they could see that people were not, scared of it anymore, and at least the majority, and they had to come up with something new. Well, this is how they're doing it with that new variant. It says, European Union proposes more travel restrictions to stop virus variants. The European Union's executive body has proposed that the EU nations impose more travel restrictions to counter the worrying spread of the new CV variants. Look at worrying spread. Yeah, see it? See the writing on the wall? It's right there. It says, Brussels, the European Union's executive body proposed Monday that the bloc's 27 nations impose more travel restrictions to counter the worrying spread of the new CV variants, but make sure to keep goods and workers moving across EU borders. Yeah, because they got to keep making their money, right? No matter what. They got to still have people working for them. So pick and choose on everything. It says, amid concerns related to the production and delivery of the CV19 rolling up your sleeve, the European Commission urged EU nations to reinforce testing and quarantine measures for travelers as virus mutations that are more transmissible threaten to overwhelm European hospitals with new cases. Cases. But you see what they're telling you right there. They're telling you, so just wait a week or so, or 2 weeks, you'll hear the headlines where they'll say, these European hospitals are completely overwhelmed because of this new virus mutation that's hitting. It's just right there. It's always right in front of us. It says more than 400,000 EU citizens have already died from the virus since the pandemic first hit Europe last year. Who knows, right? It says the start of the EU Rolling Up Your Sleeve campaign kicked off the beginning of an end of the pandemic, EU Justice Commissioner Dieter Reiners said. At the same time, new, more transmissible variants of the virus have surfaced. How convenient, right? There is currently a high number of new infections across many member states, and there is an urgent need to reduce the risk of travel-related infections to lessen the burden on overstretched healthcare systems. It's the same thing, rinse and repeat. It's all they've done all over the world. It says, among the new measures which need to be approved by EU nations before taking effect is the addition of the new dark red color to the EU's weekly map of infections. Reinders said, this new color highlights areas where the rate of the new confirmed infection in the last 14 days is 500 or more per 100,000 inhabitants. So he said between 10 and 20 EU countries would already see that color on all part of their territory if it was in effect right now. So we also think it is necessary for essential travelers arriving from dark red areas to get tested before traveling and undergoing a quarantine, unless these measures would have disproportionately impact on the exercise of their essential function. He says, since the discovery of the new virus variants, several EU countries have already reinforced their lockdown measures. Belgium has introduced a ban on all non-essential travels for its residents until March, while France could soon start a third lockdown if a stringent 12-hour daily curfew already in place can't slow down the spread of new infections. See, look at this. They already have these curfews in, like I showed you in my last video, and they are being able to do anything you want. This is definitely a soft martial law because they are doing everything that they want. They're just using these different types of things to be able to go ahead and, put these restrictions, curfews, lockdowns, everything else. It says, we are suggesting stricter measures for dark red areas because we must recognize the high level of the cases. It says, insisting that all non-essential travel is strongly discouraged, the Commission repeated that the need to keep the single market functioning so workers and goods can continue to cross the border smoothly. Like I said, yeah, they got to make their money. Border closures will not help. Common measures will, Reinders said. Says the Commission also proposed the travelers from outside the EU should face mandatory CV testing before they depart. Tests once they arrive, mandatory quarantines for up to 14 days, and hand over data for contact tracing. Are you hearing this? Please tell me you're hearing this. Mandatory test, mandatory quarantines, and then mandatory information data for contact tracing. This is everything we talked about, what it was going to build up to. Says it suggested the EU citizens and residents take a CV test upon arrival and could face further restrictions if they're coming in from a country where a variant has been detected. Do you see this? What's coming? Do you see the writing on the wall? You know, it is right in front of us, okay? And check this out. This just blew me away from yesterday. Moderna develops a new CCP virus, rolling up your sleeve for the South African variant. So now all of a sudden, they literally, in a matter of a week or so, or 2 weeks, they have come up with now a new, roll up your sleeve, these things right here, for the new variant. I mean, how can people still fall for this? This is just impossible. You can't do something like that. So you can see everything that is going on right now. And like I said, it's happening everywhere. This is not United States. It's not just over in Europe. Look right here. I showed you this in that last video about China. Look at this latest. China reports just a few new cases of CV. It's like their actions don't line up with what you're seeing, hearing, and talking about every single day. So we just have to stay on this stuff, continue to pay attention to it because it is definitely important. So everybody, we will talk to you soon. Stay safe, stay strong, continue to pray. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.